Hello.
Hi, Mary. How are you? How you doing? Do you hear me? Mary, can you hear me?
Hello. How are you?
I wanted to do the ayahuasca. What do you think? Since you are like almost an expert on that. I've been thinking about it, but I have high blood pressure. What do you think? You think that has something to do or no?
I don't think I could. I wasn't able to hear you, Tati, if you were talking.
Oh, hold on, hold on. Hold on. I don't know where my headphones are. Hold on. Can you hear me now?
Oh yeah, now I could hear you fine. At first, I couldn't hear you.
My
I don't know.
headphones are not working. I don't understand. Okay, so I was asking you, what is your opinion on ayahuasca? Because I wanted to do it.
Oh, interesting. What's my opinion? It's not for the weak.
Because I have high blood pressure. Do you think is
It's
is
definitely
good? Is bad? What do you think?
um high blood pressure. I don't think it would have anything. You take medication for that?
Listen, 3 years ago, my blood pressure started to go up, and then I couldn't bring it down. So I've been taking it like for 2 years and a half.
Okay. Well, number one, you would probably have to ask the person that's administrating the medicine, because usually they all have different rules. Some people will tell you to stop taking it, 5 days before or 3 days. So, anxiety meds too, they say 3 days. But everybody that has ayahuasca ceremonies, their rules are different from what I notice. So yeah, definitely ask them, before you sign up if because sometimes people cannot be off their medication, but they do require you to be off of it for a few days.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, number
You
one,
know,
ask them about that. Because I just asked for one of my friends. She wanted to go, but she takes anxiety medication, and then I had asked, and they were like, she has to be off of it at least 3 days, and then she can take it. But my recommendation, well, because you're very spiritual and you are very you've always been working on yourself. I mean, I would recommend it. You will probably
I
have a
know.
good you will probably have a good experience.
Huh. Um, Dustin found a place that here is so expensive, Mary. Why can't you guys do it in Orlando? It's $1,000.
Yeah.
Right, Dustin? I don't know if he can talk, but it's $1,000. It's so expensive.
Oh wow.
And
It
then
is.
I
um
mean, I would take a trip to Chicago, just saying.
I'm
But
saying,
yeah, it's
you know
eleven
what? The
hundred
one
bucks.
lady that I work with, right now, she's been doing $50 deposit and then a donation.
only.
Yeah. So that
Why
means you
can't you
give
guys
50.
come?
You could give she if you guys could gather up people. I mean, she probably would. She does travel. She does it in Mexico. She does it in I forgot, she's what is it? Nebraska. She just went to not too long ago, last month. So she does travel too, but I guess it has to be so many people. But I mean, right now in Chicago, that's what she's doing. I was like really surprised because, like you say, some people are 350. I just attended one about 2 weeks ago, and because I helped this wellness center, and they went to Colombia, and we just had a ceremony here that we brought them from. They came from Colombia, and then we had people there from the wellness center because they also do therapy there. They do all kinds of kids therapy, adult therapy, and then they also do like what else do they do? Like singing bowls. We have meditation there, yoga. They do all kinds of things there, and they went to Colombia a retreat
You
of
know,
the main peoples out there to here. But it was like $1,000 that they were charging. I mean, I was able to go only for 100 because I helped. I'm like a helper, but it was really good. I mean I highly recommend it, but the medicine was very different from what I was accustomed to, very strong. um but I'm 2 weeks out right now, and I'm kind of just relaxing. I didn't even help because they just had a ceremony yesterday and my nephew went, and I was like, no, I can't go. I'm like, I'm still integrating a lot, and I'm like, I just need to take a break right now. But yeah, I mean, one lady does really, it's cheap. I mean, it would be an investment to come because it's cheaper. You would just have to, figure it all out before Saturday,
if
or
you
use
know,
guys
Dustin, that's a better option than paying $1,000.
that, or use
Mm-hmm.
always if you can gather up people. And Spanish, Tatiana, like you could speak to her because she talks nothing but Spanish. You could, if you could gather up so many people, like she wouldn't mind like traveling.
Like how many?
I think from the last, I mean, because she used to have a partner, but he does his own now. From what I recall, it was, I think he said like 10 people.
You said something very interesting. Oh, because you practice a spirituality, you
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't be bad, Mary. Listen to this.
Mm-hmm.
I did mushrooms
Okay.
and I had such a bad experience. You know what? Um, One thing that um I came into the conclusion, if you have the victim mentality, that's gonna affect a lot how you're going to connect with other states of,
Mm-hmm.
So when I did the mushrooms, I did not had a good experience. As a matter of fact, I started seizuring.
That, I mean, and it's weird because I had the same experience on mushrooms.
You
Like not
did?
with seizuring, but it was a lot of that, like a lot of shaking. Like I thought I had an ego death with the mushrooms, and that was the first time. I mean, I took in small doses, but they had like a ceremony, and it was with different people. And I was like, all right, I was curious, and I took a lot, like I guess the max or whatever it was, and I was like, yeah, why not? Like I do ayahuasca. Like what could I mean? I had a bad experience. Bad experience. I don't. Yeah, I don't. I don't know about the mushrooms, but I didn't connect really good with them, and I felt like I had an ego death. I was shaking a lot, very distorted. Yeah, I was not. It was not a good experience for me. So that kind of makes sense, a little bit. I mean, because I had kind of the same experience, but I didn't have. I mean, I had a lot of, I mean, I've done, I've been doing ayahuasca for a while, and, now I'm like, I help. So I'm like a helper. I help, regulate the energies there. I help giving, the rape. So I've experienced a lot. I want to say like, I at least had an ego death like 6 times.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Um, the reason why I asked because I'm a person that, Dustin asked me the other time, what is your purpose in life?
Mm-hmm.
My purpose in life is healing. That's my purpose. Not just spiritually, but physically, because my body doesn't feel right. Since I woke up, my body doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
So, through this path of healing, I buy a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff that is like, I'm very impulsive when it comes to like buying stuff for healing. and
Mm-hmm.
then something happens to me. And then I have side effects.
Yeah.
And Dustin always tell me, why do you always do this to yourself? So now, before I do something, I have to ask. Let me, like, tell me, if this happens, what will be the consequences? So I keep telling Dustin, please ask if there is a doctor on site, because, paying $1,000 for something
Yeah.
and then, dying, like, so,
Yeah.
so that's the
I mean,
reason
I've never
why.
heard of a doctor being on site because it's an experience that you can sustain. I mean, when you say like, would there be a doctor on site? Like, what would you need a doctor for?
Okay, because I read the side effects for ayahuasca for people that takes ayahuasca can raise your high blood pressure.
Mm-hmm.
And look what you just said. Um, that they ask you to stop taking the the
The
hypertension
medication,
medicine.
right?
So listen, as soon as I stopped taking it, my blood pressure started going crazy.
Mm.
As soon as I do that, um, I haven't been able like to let go. I've been like I did fasting a year ago. Um, I tried, but I think it's related to my liver.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm doing detox.
Yeah.
I have to be honest with you guys. Fasting is not my thing. I don't know here who actually is good with fasting, but listen, I feel like my body controls me because
Yeah.
I can fast for 16 hours, but after 16 hours it's like so hard for me to fast. Horrible. It's horrible. It's like it's something possessed me and then I break the fast. So
Yeah.
it's like my body is screaming for a cleanse.
Let's see.
I think I need a cleanse badly. So I think that once I and cleanse my liver, then I'm gonna be able to feel better. And that's the reason why I bought the sauna. But
Mm.
I've been doing it for 2 days and I feel so good.
Yeah, that's a good detox, I hear.
Well, the chamans do the temazcal. Have
Yeah.
you ever heard of that?
Yeah, yeah. The lady that I work with, because she has a cave in Mexico. I can't pronounce the name. It's something with a T-E. It's where they have all the pyramids.
Mm,
Ticoquan, Tico, something like that. But she has a cave there, and she also has ceremonies in Mexico, and she has one of those. And I have been to Mexico in a retreat there with her, and they have that too, where you stay in there for a long time. It's a good experience too.
it's incredible how many things can actually take us to those states of awareness. Like breathing, when I do the
Yeah.
soma breath work,
Mm-hmm.
if I'm not careful, I start shaking
Yeah.
uncontrollably. And then I heard that the sauna can actually do that for you too.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah,
Uh,
like the heat can
The
actually
heat.
bring you into those. That's the reason why they do the temazcal. It's just that they put herbs to actually
Yeah.
accelerate that too.
Exactly. Yeah, they did like a little bonfire. They had a bunch of herbs going. We had to stay in there for a long time. I was like, oh my God. It was good. But at the end, I started to really like not want to be in there. I was like done. I was like, okay, I'm done. But I had to stay in there. I just, put my hands on the ground and try to ground. And then I was fine afterwards. They throw cold water on you. And then it's a good experience. I
Listen,
like
when
that
you're
too.
doing the heat, I feel like I'm being cooked alive.
Yeah.
I swear.
That's how I was feeling
Oh,
at the end after I forgot how long it was in there. I don't know if it was it had to be more than an hour that they made us stay in there, but it was long.
wow. Thank you for telling us, Mary. I'm so happy. Like those experiences are really. Listen, one thing that I'm convinced we're magical beings.
Yeah.
Period. However we see it, we're magical. We're magical beings, and this reality is not what we believe it is. This
Right.
reality is just basically an illusion.
Right.
Um, very soon we're going to start seeing more and more stuff that is going to connect us because of the reason why we're here. Today I was listening to a podcast, and that's the reason why I've been putting messages in the group that it comes from that podcast. It's from a guide that comes from the Urmas. You know what he said? That in Sirius, there's actually lions too.
Yeah.
That's actually amazing. They actually paint the people from Sirius blue, but they have like different races within Sirius. So right now, what he was talking about, the mission for us is to heal the planet. Listen to this. Because, and then, you know, sometimes you can listen to information, sometimes you resonate. I resonated with what he was saying. He was saying that we are creators. We create thoughts, we create emotions, we speak, and every time we speak and think, we're constantly creating. So when the creator actually created all of this, he did not count with the fact that if we don't, we're not careful with what we say and what we think, we can actually create emptiness. So how many times we have thoughts during the day and those thoughts doesn't go anywhere? Like they're not productive thinking. They're not thoughts that actually uplift us or they're positive. So he said that because of that, the creator creates something like similar to cancer. So the people that is here in this planet were actually very special people that it was selected to help the planet heal. How many times have we heard that we have to be careful with what we think? We say, yeah, but we never paid attention exactly to how important that is. As a matter of fact, in the previous classes that we had, we talk about filtering our mind and our conversations. But it's like something that we heard, but we don't even grasp the severity of what this is. And I was actually connecting with something that we talked about last class, that it says desires. For example, I desire to move to this place, and then I stop desiring. It says that every time we actually desire something at the correct moment, it's actually going to happen. And it's true. You know, when I was working for the bank, I decided to be at home generating an income, and I actually got it. So what I was hearing today is that this planet is sick. There is no other planet like this planet because it's the planet with the major density, the major polarities. There is no other planet like planet Earth. So the people that is here to heal the planet. But healing comes from within, from me cleaning myself. So they were talking about Jesus. They said there was no other master like Jesus, and there will never be. And that what Jesus taught us was to renounce from everything that we want. Like, for example, food, friendships that is no longer serving us, relationships that is no longer serving us. Like our job is to purify, cleanse, and renounce, and detach so we can vibrate higher. So I know that when you do those kind of experiences, it's like impacts yourself so much because you then you convince yourself, I'm not just a human being. I'm more than a human being. And I think you can attest to that, Mary.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Definitely, we're all connected too. With my healing journey, I mean, I would hear them say, when you heal, everybody heals, and yeah, I would hear it, but and when you literally start experiencing it in your circle, like your family and like in your relationships, it's like, whoa, what happened? Or I mean, me and my daughter's father, like, Tati, the story. There was a lot of issues for a long time, and I, like, about 6 months ago, I want to say, like, he did a 360, like, out of nowhere. So what all the healing that I did, like, our relationship is something that I would have never imagined in my life. Like, we got off the app of fighting. He's like, are you gonna take me back to child support? And I was like, no, I have no intentions. And he's like, okay, I'm gonna do more, I'm gonna give more to my daughter. He's like, we could get off the app, we don't have to pay for that. I'm gonna pay for college for our daughter. Like, don't worry about it if she decides to stay in state or out of state. So that took, like, a weight off my shoulders, and I can't believe that literally, like, we're, like, getting along. So I'm just like, to me, and even just like in, like, with my sister, like, I see her healing, like with my mother, I see her healing. And it's just like, it's true, and I never believed it. But when you actually start seeing it in your life, that literally you're changing, it does. So, I mean, I do believe that we're all one. We're all connected. When one heals, we're all healing. So that's something that I would hear them say, but didn't believe it until I started seeing it in my own life.
Yeah, the thing is that when I first started this journey, I heard my aunt telling me that I have to delete everything that I actually had in my hard drive. And
Yeah.
it's true. It's
And
true.
it's
We
true.
have to delete everything.
Yeah. I mean, for me, like, as an example, my nephew, he's already been 3 times. He's younger than me, and he always has, like, a good experience, and my experiences have not been that. Um, I do a lot of deep, deep trauma healing, because I'm not only healing me, I'm healing for my lineage, as far as my mother and my father. So I'm like, why the hell would I choose to do this, right? Which I do a lot of deep healing, and mine are not easy. My experiences have not been easy. There's people that come, and for him, he's younger. He's in his early 20s. He didn't have a lot of trauma. Um, Unfortunately, in my experience, a lot of trauma that was done to me as a child has been revealed to me that I honestly was never aware of. In my wildest dreams, I think my body always knew, but I must have blocked it out because I was so young and it was being done to me as a child that I didn't recall. But the medicine did reveal a lot of trauma, unfortunately, that was done to me, which is what I'm working on and release. My my experiences, like, I honestly don't recommend it, because I mean, to say it's a beautiful thing, and then you'll get people that come in and say, oh my god, it was so beautiful. I seen, my child that passed away, and I got this message, and everybody has a different experience. Unfortunately, mine is just a different journey, which will not probably be your journey. I don't know your purpose, but I mean, that's what the medicine showed me right away, that I was here to heal my lineage, um so, and transform it. So that's what I've been doing, which it has not been easy for me. So, I mean, that's what I can speak on. But I mean, I know a lot of people that go and come and go and come and get so much clarity. There was a girl that would come for like 2 years, and she had cancer, and she actually died a couple of months ago. She actually passed away, but she did survive 2 years more when the doctors told her that she would, not. So that's one thing. A lot of people come for healing for different things. The mind thing, honestly, there's times when I've been in a ceremony and I had like an ego death, and you literally feel like your brain is being reprogrammed. Like, it's such a weird experience that it's hard to explain, but it's like I felt things being happen to my brain, like ding 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 ding, like they were doing things to my brain. and it's weird. And then you get it from your experience, and then you feel like, and then I tell myself like, oh my God, like, why do I keep doing this? But you feel better. Like you were saying about the negative thoughts and the things that we have. And honestly, like, I don't really have that anymore like before. Like, the thoughts just popping in your head about, being sad or being, depressed or whatever, the things that we think about that are not positive. That hardly happens to me. Like, my mind has never been this quiet in my life. So I feel like with the time that I've been doing it, that has been something that has healed in me, that I don't have a lot of negative thinking. So that's one good benefit that I see. Obviously, those are the things that keep me going. And obviously, because I know I'm doing this for my daughters moving forward, for my grandchildren, to not live the life that, that I had to heal, which was in my mother, which was in my grandmother, which it was in my great grandmother, which for my father. So it was a lot. It was a lot that it showed me. Unfortunately, and it's not like it just talks to you. It's just like a knowing. It's just like everything is within you. So it kind of like, you only see what's in you. So it doesn't show you anything outside of you. Sometimes people think, oh, demons but that's in you. So those are unsolved things that we have going in ourselves that we have to heal, which is obviously why people go, because they have depression, because they have those negative thoughts. So yeah, so I've been with this plant medicine since 2022. So, and I feel like a lot of it was just going and maybe having a lot of fear. And I really feel like May of last year is when really the medicine started to show me what I needed to heal, because it doesn't give you what you want. It only gives you when you're ready. So I think that last year I was ready and strong enough to deal what it needed to show me. Um, and most people probably would just not even know how to handle it. I mean, like I said, it's not for the weak. If you're mentally unstable, this may not be a good thing for you, because when it starts showing you things, especially about yourself, especially about your childhood. But I just feel like this medicine is so intelligent that it shows you in little pieces, little by little. But then it's also like it doesn't make you stay in it. Like, it's bringing it up so you can heal it, but it's not bringing it up so you can relive it, or you're like, oh, why is it showing me this? It's bringing it up to release it so you can heal it and let it go, which is what you have to focus on. Which most people, if I would say, my story, they would be like, oh my God, like, how are you even walking around with all that had been happening to you, had what was done to you, and now it's the medicine. Like, I have so much gratitude towards the medicine, because it's so intelligent that it literally does heal you. And things that are meant to probably break anybody or have you in the crazy house at some point, and no, I'm at peace, and I know I'm healing, and I know it came up because it's something that I had to release. So yeah, I mean, everybody has a different perspective, a different experience. It's just amazing. Like, it is definitely amazing if you have a chance to do it or save. I mean, like I said, you can always come over here. It's literally, it's the cheapest I've ever seen it. And her focus is, and she says the medicine told her that to give it for donation for the people that cannot afford, and want healing, which I thought was very generous of her, because we have a lot of people here too doing it for 350, 500. So it's definitely been a journey. It's not something that happens in one night. It's not a magic pill that you're gonna go, and like you say, if it's 1,000, yeah, that's a lot. And then if you have to go again, then that's another 1,000. So that's a lot of money. Thank God that I've been fortunate to work with them, and when I need to work on myself, I could work, and then obviously I'm a helper, so I still get to do it. But again, it's amazing. Like, I mean, I recommend it, but like I said, it's not for the weak. You do have to be mentally stable, because again, I think you are, and maybe it will help you with healing some of the things that you need to heal.
Mary.
Yes.
So what day do they do it?
What day they do it? They do it once a month. So she skipped last month. Like it was actually it was yesterday. And then we have one on May 9th, but that's going to be only all women. And then she has another one. So she likes to do it if things work out for her and line up for her, she tries to do it every month.
Huh. Okay. Do you know what the dates are for May?
For May, let me see if I could see, because she just posted it. For what are we in? We're in hold on. Let me look on her page because she just posted it. But I know one is gonna be all women, which oh my god, those are amazing. Let's see, Colibri.
What Mary search, you say something very important, Mary. It says that this is not for the weak. But listen to this. Every day we get exposed to things that we need to work on, but we ignore it. I guess when the plan confronts you, you have no other alternative than actually listen. I guess that would be the difference because, if you are in this journey, you always get presented with things that you don't like. I'm always get presented with things that I don't like. Like, for example, one thing that it hurt me a lot about my mom was the victim mentality. But then I have the victim mentality too. And sometimes it resurrects, Sometimes it comes back.
Yeah.
Sometimes the programming wants to attack again and again. So if we are in the path of awakening, we know the shadow. We know what is there. But guess what? Since we identify so much with that person that is actually not who we are, it actually hurt us, or we ignore it, or we project it to others, or we just keep delaying it. For example, one thing that hit me very much is when you don't make a decision, you're giving your power away too. How many times we do that? Because we have comfort.
Right. That's very true.
So, guys, if you guys interested in ayahuasca for how much, Mary?
Yeah, no, Chicago.
$50.
I'm telling you, $50 deposit, and then I mean it's a donation, so that means, like, with my nephew, I'm like, don't lowball her, obviously, understand that this is very expensive, and you're coming with somebody, I trust her, you trust her, because I've been working with this lady. I'm like, don't lowball her. Like, sometimes, like, my friend just told me yesterday, like, oh yeah, the cousin gave $50, but then he came and he gave $1. Like, I mean, and it was like, what? Like, really? Like, I mean,
Yeah, that's messed up.
Yeah, that's messed up, because how expensive it is, and she's literally doing this, again, because she has to listen to her spirit guides, and the plant that's telling her, like, this is what they told her, and she's been doing it when other people are charging hundreds of dollars, $500, 350, and she's bringing the medicine, which obviously is hard to transport and all that, and she's running the hall. She still has to, not that she pays us. We all do everything for free. We all, I bring toilet paper, the next person will bring cups, the other person will bring fruit. We're all part of the team, which we all, if we don't show up, then things don't happen. So it's all a team. We have one guy that he sings and he does the Icaros, which is the music, which is part of the healing too. So if he doesn't show up, so it's a team. Everybody comes. We don't expect, we don't charge her. We're part of the group. Which I'm trying to find the date. Oh, here's one, May 9th. But it has women por Dia de las Madres. Okay, so this is the next one. She posted this one. But this is for the mom. She's doing this one, and it's going to be all women. These are very, very, very powerful. I love when she does the women ones, because she'll do like a cacao, and then she'll do with the women. And I don't know, sometimes when guys are there, it's just a little chaotic because of the energies being more potent, I should say. But she hasn't posted the one for, and I seen it on her TikTok, I think, but I'm gonna share this one to the group. So let me see if it lets me into. Oh shit. I sent it to you in a text message, Tati. I don't know if I can figure out how to send it, but I mean, you could even you could go on Facebook, and you could even like reach out to her through WhatsApp, and you can have a conversation with her if you have
It's
questions. I
called La
mean,
Cueva, that one?
yeah, that's what, like I told you, she also has her retreat center that she does in Mexico, but she comes here every month, and she comes in Nebraska, South City, I think she does, Milwaukee. So she does a lot of different places, and I know she will travel. Like if you guys could even, I mean, who knows, maybe just to get started, or and again, I mean, she charges that here. I don't know if she was to go out there, obviously she would have to get a hall. She would have to pay her airfare, all that. I mean, I don't know if it would be the same. Obviously, those are questions to ask, but maybe if you guys come with, 10 people, maybe she's willing to go out there for that. I don't know, but definitely it's a conversation to have, especially with your blood pressure. Like obviously you want to speak to them about that. And if you have concerns about, I mean, I've been dealing with, I've been in ceremony like every month since 2022. I've never seen anybody have to leave um in an ambulance or needed medical attention. um and honestly, I feel like the one that I just did 2 weeks ago when they came from Colombia, and he's the guy and the girl that she taught with she's a mamita. She was working with a shaman, and he's very popular in Colombia. She was really good too, and the medicine was super strong. I literally died both of the days, and this was why I didn't go yesterday, because I was just like, no, I'm integrating still. Me, for a lot of work that I do, I work at home. Like I do a lot of releasing at home, and it's hard to explain, but people are like, what do you mean you work at home? Like literally, like I'm in my dreams. I write my dreams down. I dream a lot. Sometimes it'll be stuff that I need to release. I will literally feel the physical things leaving my body, my knee, my body, as my woman parts, stuff like that. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. And like people probably, if I would tell this to people, they probably think I'm crazy, like, which I don't really talk to people about it because they wouldn't understand. But this medicine is so intelligent, that it's just unbelievable. It's really unbelievable.
What it is that the planet is alive.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of wisdom that has been hidden from us to
Right.
delay our evolution, but now is the time for us to take
Yeah.
advantage of that. Like, the podcast that I was telling you guys, they were talking about skulls and how the information of Atlantis has been hidden in the skulls.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that you need to do is connect with the skull, and the skull is going to allow you to download that information. And the information is hidden because they have to make sure it passes from generation to generation.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a lot of information, but what we need to do is not just to listen, but to be able to integrate it and act on it, because now is the time. And what you said about the dreams, I actually shared that with you. I dream a lot. I dream a lot. And I usually remember most of my dreams.
Yeah, me too. Not every single thing, but I think I'm training myself like very early on in my, put that on, Eva. Very early on when I started in this group, you taught me to journal and how to like break down your dreams and stuff like that, which is obviously very helpful. But yes, definitely, it's just that. But I mean, just imagine that something that a girlfriend did to you or betrayed you, like 15 years ago, and you don't even talk to her anymore, but something that she did to you, like you're literally dreaming about it and it's releasing it. And I was like, what am I even thinking about this person? But it's something that betrayed you, and you had, and you hold on to, and you have to release it. Another friend, and I'm like, why am I dreaming about her? And she owed me money. And it was weird because we left from working with each other for 10 years, and then recently in my dream she paid me the money that she owed me. And it was so weird. And when I woke up and I wrote down the dream, and it was like, that is so interesting. So people don't think that the little things, every little thing that you've been through with every person, it affects you. Either, it's a betrayal. It's something like the example I just gave, like somebody owing me money and that we left on bad terms. And, for whatever reason, she felt she didn't want to pay me for the service that I provided at a party for her. I guess she thought she didn't have to, but I kept asking her for my money. But yeah, I will. Okay, yeah, I will. And for some reason, I stood like that. And then in my dream, she literally paid me so that I could release that, because so much that we hold on to and that we don't realize that. And I'm just thinking like, oh my God, that was so long ago. Like, why do I even? But again, your body. And if you ever read the book, your body keeps the score of everything. And it's true. So those are the little things that you have to heal. So imagine if I'm 50, right? Imagine 50 years that I have allowed, or, people pleasing, or being betrayed, or feeling, because when you come from, being from a broken home, if you come from, not having abandonment, you people please, you learn that. So many things that I would do just to people please or to be my friend, or I felt I couldn't say no, I would always not choose myself. I was always trying to people please. And that's something that I learned now that, boundaries. So it's something I never practiced. So like I said, this medicine is such so intelligent that the littlest thing that you didn't even think about that you had to heal from, but it will show you that you need to heal from that. So that's another little, little something to share with somebody, just to have an example as far as what it does.
Thank you for that. The importance of the dreams is because we are actually in our natural state, which is
Mm-hmm.
actually, energy. Like 3 days ago, I dreamed I was a man. Because when we actually in the dream world, we actually exactly just energy.
Yeah.
So one thing that I learned about what I learned about the dreams is that what you said is true. We actually review what happens in the past so we
Mm-hmm.
can actually process it.
Right.
So that's something that um I've been doing a lot of recapitulation. I'm fascinated with the Toltecas. I want to go meet them. I want to study with them. I really want to learn about how to heal, because I know that there is a lot that we can do during the dream world. We can actually evolve during the dream world.
Yeah, because it starts there.
Yes, you can actually connect to lower dimensions or to higher dimensions if you actually work in the dream world. So
Yeah.
thank you, Mary, for sharing all of
Yeah.
that.
And then another thing,
I
like, um,
mhm.
talking on the note of dreams, for the last, well, right before my ceremony, the one that I went to with the people from Colombia, um, I was having dreams that I was flying. And then like after I did my ceremonies, it was a weekend thing, and it was 2 days in a row, which was tough. So then after that week, and then like 2 days later, I had another dream that I was flying, And I recall having dreams when I was younger flying, but then they stopped. And then now I'm having dreams about flying, which, yeah, I don't know the meaning, but it seems like I feel very free. I feel very like my soul is more like liberated. That's what the feeling that I got from the dreams, that it was like I was training and it was training me that to fly. And I was like, what the hell? So that's another thing. You may know what it means. You're good with the dreams.
Yeah, I know. I fly too. I
You
fly a
oh see.
lot. Yeah,
Cool.
but in order for me to fly, I have to harvest energy during the day. For
Mm,
example, if I meditate, if I am in a good state of mind, if I do practices that harvest my energy,
I
then I
see.
can fly. Otherwise, I can't. It's like I have no gas, no gasoline. I have to work on all of that so I can fly at night. But I do too. The thing is that in the dreams, we can actually do anything that our ego doesn't allow us to do in this reality.
Right. Yeah. And another thing that will probably be good, Tati, for you would be that because you want to detox, but cambo. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that, but it's like the venom of a frog, and what they do is they like burn you with like a punk, like a some kind of incense punk, and then they put like holes, and then they put the frog in you, and then it detoxes your body, and it has a lot of
Wow.
great benefits with that too. So you may want to try to look into that. It's a little cheaper at times, but they're doing it out here too, all over the place. I've done kambo, I've done wufu, so I have experience with quite a few um plant medicine. Mapacho, they do a ceremony with the tea of the tobacco, which helps you connect to the mapacho, which is the herb that they use, the tobacco that they use. I've done quite a few of those ceremonies too. So I have done a lot of detoxing and just connecting with different plant medicine. But look into the Kambo one, because that may be something that you will help you, because it has a lot of benefits with all kinds of stuff like that, with diabetes, with high blood pressure, cancer, just so much. I mean, when I did it, it felt like I just threw up a bunch of like antifreezer. That's what it reminded me, like green antifreeze. That's what it looked like, a bucket of that.
Oh, thank you, Mary. Thank you for letting us know.
Yeah.
Um, I'm excited. I'm excited about evolving. Eh, Les voy a decir algo. El despertar es como una luz intermitente que viene y va. Hay veces que yo me siento prendida y siento como que estoy súper, ah, otras veces siento que no quiero hacer nada y soy simplemente una persona común y corriente. Pero yo pienso que la luz intermitente ahora está siendo más corta. Antes se demoraba más. I remember a couple of classes ago that awakening is like a intermittent light, that sometimes it burns and then sometimes it turns off. That's how I feel that my awakening has been. There is times that I feel very excited, other times I feel like I'm not, but I think that the time of feeling hyped is shortening now. Entonces, no sé cómo ustedes se sienten. I don't know how you guys feel, but
The same. I feel
the
like, well,
same.
I mean, even though I know you don't take plant medicine, but for me, I feel like it comes in waves. Sometimes I'm up, sometimes I'm down. I feel like I'm good, and then it's like boom, I'm back down. But there's always an up after. But sometimes it takes a while. But yeah, there's days that yeah, I'm just like, oh my God, like why did I open this door? Like sometimes seeing too much, like I said, you have to be very mentally stable. I go to therapy now. So it's like, oh my God, like this has become my life, unfortunately. But now I'm trying to see how to live in it. I think, I'm at the end with the healing. I've done so much healing, so much dying. And when I say dying, ego death. So, you never die. So, but yeah, definitely thought I could definitely relate to what you're saying. Just I feel a lot of ups, a lot of downs, even though, you're not taking plant medicine, you have the up and downs. It's the same thing. Up and downs. It's just like right when I feel like I'm doing good, and then it's like boom, back down, and just like I don't want to do nothing. So it's been a struggle. It's definitely been like I said, it's not for the weak. It's like sometimes I want to, like, why did you do this? Like, you shouldn't have went, like, but it's like, unfortunately it's my journey, and it's been scary. There's times that, sometimes it's just so much stuff you just, nobody knows, nobody tells you. It's a personal journey where you just have to, figure out stuff for yourself. And I try to just stay in the moment. I don't try to worry about the past. I don't try to worry about the future. I just, I try to focus on the moment, what I'm doing with my kids, my grandkids, work, which, whatever, we got to do that. But yeah, definitely up and down. I don't know how anybody else, but that's my experience.
Y por eso yo quiero que el chat lo convirtamos también en algo que sea más como comunidad. I would love for us to be more like a community than a class, because I feel like we can all learn from each other. No se sientan que no pueden participar, ustedes pueden hablar. Es más, podemos hacer meetings que solamente sea para que nosotros compartamos, porque en verdad el caminar, hoy escuché un término que dice que nosotros somos trotamundos, exploradores de otros mundos. It is a very lonely journey because not everybody share what we share in this group. So whatever you guys feel, we can actually just meet just to talk about how we feel, what we have learned, because I would love for us to become more as a community so we can learn and expand more. Bueno, vamos a empezar la clase. Let's go ahead and start the class. As you guys know, we've been actually learning about the throat chakra. The throat chakra represents the higher self. La chakra garganta representa la expresión del ser a través de la palabra, porque la palabra es la expresión de nuestra realidad. Y por eso necesitamos que nuestra vida sea coherente con nuestra sabiduría interior, con la maestría que hemos ganado, con la sabiduría que hemos logrado a través de un caminar, y no solo de un caminar, sino porque nuestro ser camina a través de nosotros. Entonces, el hombre y la vida ha aprendido que repitiendo las mismas cosas, eso no tiene ningún sentido. Entonces, lo mismo es desgastarse por un barranco, y si alguien, a ver, voy a tratar de expandir este pensamiento. La chakra garganta nos muestra que cada uno de nosotros tiene una sabiduría, pero esa sabiduría se ha contaminado con lo que nosotros creemos que somos. Entonces, cuando nosotros comenzamos este caminar, nosotros hemos visto que el ser no puede expresarse a través de nuestra vida si nosotros continuamos repitiendo las mismas cosas, y lo único que hacemos es desgastar nuestra energía. So when it comes to the throat chakra, the expression of higher self is going to express through us through our words. And the words are going to express our reality. But in order for us to have a harmonious reality, we need to be coherent. And coherence with the internal wisdom that we have inside of us. And then anything that we have actually accomplished through our walk It's going to be a walk that is going to show us what we have actually repeated throughout our lives. So when it comes to the repetition of patterns, this is going to take. Give me a sec. So when it comes to the throat chakra, one thing that is going to be very affected by our repetitive patterns is going to be the thyroid. Cuando se trata de la chakra corazón, algo que se va a afectar demasiado es la tiroides. Entonces, cuando nosotros tenemos problemas con la tiroides, yo le diría que aún con mayor razón tiene que haber un trabajo, porque aunque a uno le retiren la tiroides, si uno no tenga el órgano, aunque usted se la saque, la energía todavía está distorsionada. Y aunque usted piense que usted se saca la tiroides y que ya usted no va a seguir teniendo ese problema, la energía va a seguir desorganizada. Y la energía, aunque usted vaya donde un bioenergético, no va a poder arreglar eso. ¿Qué es lo que quiere decir? La tiroides es un órgano que tiene que ver con la filtración. Entonces, cuando una persona no puede, tiene mucha conciencia, pero no pone su conciencia en práctica, va a afectar la tiroides. Entonces, aunque usted se saque el órgano está ahí energéticamente, porque acuérdense que nosotros tenemos 7 cuerpos. Tenemos 7 cuerpos energéticos. Y cuando nosotros quitamos algo, aunque no se vea en el cuerpo físico, esto continúa en el cuerpo emocional. So when it comes to the, remember, everything that we study, we see it from different angles, including the energetic bodies. So when it comes to the thyroid is a gland that is there to filter what is good for us and what is not good for us. So when somebody has problems with the thyroid, it means that it has a lot of consciousness, but it's not being coherent with the reality. So even if the thyroid is actually taking out the physical body, it's going to still show in the emotional body. Entonces, cuando nosotros estamos viendo los cuerpos energéticos, la tiroides está en el cuerpo causal, y el cuerpo causal es donde se encuentran las vidas pasadas. El cuerpo mental, el cuerpo emocional, acuérdense que existe el cuerpo mental, el cuerpo causal, el cuerpo emocional, el cuerpo etérico, el patrón etérico, y cuando uno empieza a almacenar la anatomía energética, acuérdense cuando vimos la chakra raíz, simplemente tenemos que saber que hay niveles energéticos y que la energía se condensa y se vuelve en una expresión física, que el trabajo energético hay que hacerlo. Entonces, cuando a una persona le sacan la tiroides o le sacan la vesícula o el hígado, o tiene es porque hay un proceso energético. Entonces, cuando a una persona le dicen que le saca la tiroides, tiene que aprender a vivir sin ella. Pero, aunque no haga el trabajo energético, esto se va a almacenar en los archivos acásicos. Esto no se borra. Y muy posiblemente cuando reencarne la próxima vida, va a tener con problemas de la tiroides. Entonces, para enfermar la tiroides, la persona tiene que tener el pensar desde la vida que está pendiente, o sea, está muy pendiente de las otras personas. Entonces, no existe algo que resolver, pero aquí tenemos una tarea. Entonces, independientemente de que a usted le saquen o que usted tenga problemas o no, acuérdense que cuando usted presenta un malestar físico, hay un problema energético. Entonces, para que una persona se pueda equilibrar o compensar, lo fundamental es hacer el trabajo de la conciencia, hacer ese trabajo de la maestría donde nosotros podamos asumir las creaciones, las experiencias, porque si no hago ningún cambio, entonces puede que yo sea muy consciente, pero si yo no aplico lo que yo estoy siendo consciente, entonces ahí vamos a ver que va a haber un problema energético. Por decir, cuando una persona tiene problemas con las amígdalas, esto tiene mucho que ver con el sistema inmunológico y con estados defensivos, sobre todo cuando uno no asume ese potencial. So when it comes to the throat chakra, remember that we have a physical body. And then when we were actually seeing the root chakra, we know that we have energetic bodies. The thyroid is actually located in the causal energetic body. And this has to do with past lives. We also have the mental body, the emotional body, the etheric body, and and this is everything where the energy gets stored. So when we see the root chakra, we need to understand that there is different energetic levels and how the energy condense themselves. And when this condense, it becomes in a physical expression. So when I'm working energetically with anything, whether or not you have the thyroid, or whether or not you have your gallbladder or your liver, or you have problems in your stomach, you need to understand that when something happens is because there is a condensation in the energy that is showing in the physical body. So even if you take your thyroid out and you learn to live without it, you need to understand the Akashic records will have that information. And possibly next life you're going to be born with problems that they will manifest 40, 30, 50 years later. So if you're born with a sick thyroid, this means that you need to start thinking about it, something that you had holding from a past life. So in order for us to resolve this, we need to understand that we have to get coherence and be accountable for our creations. So when a person needs to equilibrate everything, fundamentally what they need to do is a work in their consciousness. So what we need to do is we need to be able to assume our creations, our experiences. And for example, if there is a change that we need to do, we need to start working on those changes. Why is this important? Porque esto es importante. Porque muchas veces nosotros nos dejamos llevar por la comodidad. What I was talking to Mary before. We get very comfortable. And then we said, oh, I don't like my job, but I'm just going to stay here because it's comfortable for me. Because it's very hard for me to do a resume. I don't know how it's gonna be my new schedule. Yo no sé cómo va a ser mi próximo horario. No sé qué yo pueda hacer. Entonces, ¿qué es lo que pasa? Como nos conformamos, entonces tenemos un deseo, pero no actuamos en él. Otra cosa que dijo Mary, we're people's pleaser, o somos unas personas que nos gusta mucho ser complacientes. ¿Qué significa eso? Que no vivimos por nuestra verdad. What does that mean? That we're not being authentic. When we're not authentic, we're going to be affecting the thyroid gland. Cuando no somos auténticos, vamos a afectar la glándula de la tiroides. Entonces, we have to learn how to assume our creations. Another one, if somebody's actually having problems with the amygdalas, this has to do with so it's a combination. Sometimes we have chakras that it has two chakras. For example, when somebody has breast cancer, it's actually the heart chakra and the the sacral chakra. This one, the amygdalas, has to do with the throat chakra and the immune system, meaning the heart chakra. And it has, when somebody has constant problems with the amygdalas, is because they have a lot of defensiveness. And they actually think that everything is a personal attack. Entonces, tenemos que aprender a asumir todo este potencial para cuidarnos y hacernos cargo de nosotros mismos. Tenemos que tener una capacidad de autopreservación y cuidado adecuado de nuestra palabra, porque nuestra palabra es mágica. Tiene un triple origen y primer lugar en el latín maya, que significa mago. El que sabe más, que más logra. Entonces, acuérdense que estamos en un año 1 y en este año estamos en creación, lo que va a pasar en los siguientes 7 años. Mire, esto está tremendo. Yo no me acordaba de esto, chicos. Y este año es la siembra que usted va a hacer para los próximos 7 años. This is so important because now look how everything connects. We're seeing the throat chakra now, and look what it is. Word is connected with the word magic, which means magician. This year is a year 1, that is the year of creation. So everything that you start sowing this year is going to be manifested in the next 9 years. I say 7, but it's actually 9. Mire qué tremendo. Lo que ustedes siembren este año se va a cumplir en los próximos 9 años. So, ahorita lo que significa ser maestro es que debe estar pasando lo que usted quiere. A ver, para usted convertirse en un maestro, en vez de estar pensando en lo que los demás hacen, usted o lo que dicen, usted tiene que pensar cómo usted se va a comportar. Y no tiene que poner atención a lo que está pasando en el mundo, lo que va a hacer mi papá, lo que va a hacer mi mamá, lo que mi pareja quiere. Entonces, yo me tengo que convertir en un mago. Y para ser mago, yo tengo que dar la mejor expresión de mí. Porque si la vida es un espejo, de lo que yo más doy, es lo que yo voy a recibir. Y no estoy hablando solo en términos de trabajo adicto. Estamos hablando en términos sutiles y energéticamente. Por ejemplo, si usted habla 300 palabras, puede decir solo 1 o 2 palabras que tengan mucha calidad superior. Son muchos más conscientes. Hay que hacer que las palabras sean amorosas, claras, asertivas, y que podamos trabajar y ser eficientes. No es hablar por hablar, sino es hablar para ser asertivos, que la palabra, por decir, podemos tener muchas parejas y podemos que no seamos efectivas con el amor con nosotros mismos. Pero si yo mejoro la calidad y la cantidad de lo que yo voy a expresar en mi vida, eso es lo que se va a convertir en la magia. So, I'm gonna say it in English, but this is beautiful. So the word magic, the word expression in Spanish means magic, which means magical or the magician. So it means that whenever you speak, you're going to be able to express the mastery. That means that you're going to become a magician. So you need to connect what you start thinking instead of what other people thinking, what other people is saying, how other people is behaving, or whatever is happening in the world. Or we need to understand that it doesn't matter what my mom, my dad is doing, what my partner is doing. What is really important here is if I am understanding that I'm a magical being and that I need to be able to express the best of me. Because if life is a mirror, whenever I do more, is actually reflecting into me. So it's not that I'm going to be a workaholic. I'm talking about higher frequency, energetic. So I'm going to change the quality of my words. So instead of speaking 300 words, I can say one or two that it has more quality, that they're superior, that they're more conscious, they're more loving, they're more clear, they're more assertive. So I'm going to be able to work into being more efficient. I'm going to be able to speak so I can be more assertive. It's not about me having a lot of partners, it's to have one where the love is effective, even with myself. So if I actually better the quality and the quantity, I can actually express this in my life and becoming a magician. And that's true. Es más fácil uno decir una mala palabra que uno hablar palabras en amor. Entonces, ¿qué es lo que nos quiere decir todo esto? Si yo me dejo de estar preocupando en todo lo que las otras personas digan y hagan, y yo digo, bueno, yo lo voy a hacer mejor. Yo lo voy a hacer mejor porque yo sé que yo soy un creador y lo que yo creo es lo que se va a multiplicar y manifestar en mi vida. So, basically, what I need to do, I need to be able to become a person that expresses love. And when I do that, that is going to come right back to me. A lot of times we say, but if the other person doesn't, why do I have to do that? Because the other person doesn't matter. Y miren esto yo no lo había entendido. Cuando uno tiene una pareja, usualmente uno dice, ay, es que la otra persona tiene que cambiar para yo cambiar. Yo nunca había entendido ese término hasta ahora. La otra persona no tiene que cambiar. Porque si yo cambio, todo a mi alrededor va a cambiar. Porque todo lo que sale de adentro hacia afuera, mi frecuencia, es lo que va a hacer que todo en el exterior cambie. Entonces, si yo cambio, mi pareja va a cambiar, mi familia va a cambiar, porque el cambio proviene de mí. Y cuando yo cambio, yo paso a un nuevo tiempo lineal. This is so amazing because whenever we change, instead of expecting others to change, it's literally you jump timelines. You jump into the timeline where you align into your heart desires. I never understood that because usually what they teach us is that, well, if the other person has to change, no, you have to change. When you change, everything around you has to change because everything is frequency and vibration. Entonces eso es tremendo. Entonces, con una conciencia superior, yo les diría que la maestría realmente es la magia del ser. Seres conscientes para que las cosas no se den en automático, que no nos quedemos repitiendo los mismos patrones, los mismos esquemas. ¿Qué es lo que nosotros empezamos a hacer en la maestría? Lo primero es la autoobservación, que yo siempre pueda ser consciente. Las personas que nacen sufriendo de reflujo, por ejemplo, significa que nosotros, cuando una persona tiene reflujo, tiene que ver con una persona que constantemente no se expresa. Es una combinación entre la chakra garganta y la chakra del plexo solar. Son personas que tienen ira y que no pueden expresar su realidad. Entonces, ¿qué significa realmente que nosotros podemos ser? Cada vez con mayor conciencia, con mayor conciencia en nuestros pensamientos, en nuestras palabras, de nuestra escucha, en nuestras decisiones, de nuestras indecisiones, de nuestras relaciones, de lo que hago, de lo que no hago, de que lo que digo, de lo que creo poder o no poder, de que las cosas no se queden como en un automático y que todo el tiempo nos cuestionemos, nos observemos. Por esa palabra mágica que involucra el significado. Como les decía, no es la cantidad, pero más bien la calidad de grado superior. Entonces, si es cierto para una persona que nunca habla de asumir la maestría, implica empezar a hablar. Y algunos, por ejemplo, han dicho, bueno, es que, bueno, yo siempre me quedaba callada y ahora no puedo parar de hablar y no puedo dejar de decir que no. Y esto me sale como si se explotara, pues eso es normal. Porque cuando nosotros en el tiempo pasado, y más si usted es mujer, es como una compuerta contenida, una represa que de repente se abren las puertas y entonces nos acordamos de hablar. Entonces, por eso es que no es a través de cuánta palabra, sino una palabra de cualidad superior. Entonces, no es hablar por hablar, sino es hablar amorosamente, claramente, asertivamente, respetuosamente. Y nos vamos a ir mirando que todos los aspectos de esta chakra nos van a ayudar a que nosotros nos amemos más. Entonces, entonces volvemos al ejemplo, que vamos a tener muchas parejas, pero eh, lo más importante es que usted entienda que todo lo que puede vivir con muchas parejas lo puede vivir con una sola pareja y que para poder recuperar el amor universal uno no necesita 33,000 personas, sino simplemente se trata de mejorar el grado cualitativo. Es lo mismo cuando se trata de las amistades. No es cuántas amistades tenga, es cuál es la calidad de esas amistades. Cómo puedo ser más amoroso, cómo puedo ser más respetuoso, cómo puedo hablar sin tenerme que quedar callado, atragantado, sin poder decir. Pero puedo también entender que hay cosas que las personas les va a variar dependiendo de qué, del tono. Hay personas que tienen tonos fuertes, bruscos, agresivos. Entonces también hay que aprender a suavizar las palabras, que no suene como un ataque. No es necesario que le descargue al otro la responsabilidad de las palabras, que no suenen como juicio, sino que puedan ir poco a poco. Cuando ustedes hablan, hay que hablar como una palabra más asertiva. Déjeme, yo lo digo en inglés y ahí vamos a empezar porque este es un punto buenísimo. So when it comes to the words, we need to question everything that comes out of our mouth because magic has to do with quality and not quantity. So in order for us to speak, we need to have a superior grade of speaking. So whenever somebody wants to assume the mastery implicates to speak, and to speak uh, is gonna happen to a lot of you guys that before, if you were able to stay quiet because you didn't want to hurt somebody, because you didn't want to speak your truth, right now that we're exploring this throat chakra, you're gonna see that you're not gonna be able to stop to being quiet, that you might explode, and that's actually normal, especially if you are a woman, because women in the past were very repressed. So you're gonna feel like there is actually doors that are opening and that you just have to say everything that your heart desires. But then we need to understand that it's not a speaking for speaking, it's learning how to speak in a lovely way, in a respectful way, in an assertive way. So there is a lot of aspects that we need to understand. So this is gonna bring us to love ourselves more. So another example it is that it's not for you to have a lot of partners. It's for you to understand that in order for you to connect to universal love, you don't have to meet 3,000 people. It's in order for you to work so you can better the grade and the quality of how lovely and respectful you can be in a relationship. And this is very beautiful because some people, the frequency of their voices has to do with sounding like a personal attack, or they just throwing toxicity to others. We need to have the responsibility that when we have a tone, it doesn't sound like judgment. So I can go step by step that when I speak, I don't sound like guilt. Mire, les voy a contar algo. Aprendí algo que lo pone a uno a pensar. Mucha gente compara el planeta Tierra con el infierno. ¿Quién ha escuchado eso? Who has ever listened that they said that the planet Earth is compared to the inferno? Who has heard that? ¿Quién aquí ha escuchado eso?
Yo,
¿Quién más? Somebody else. Don José dice que él. ¿Quién más? Nadie más. Nadie ha escuchado el término de que esta tierra es un infierno.
What's fear? No, is this hell?
Yeah, inferno is hell. The
Yes.
thing is that we can actually define it through the word inferno.
Yeah, I heard that. This is hell. Yes.
Ok, les voy a contar algo. La palabra infierno viene de conciencia inferior, que le falta luz. La conciencia solo puede crecer cuando nosotros tenemos luz. Y no es que nos convertamos en seres de luz, ya somos luz. Pero ¿qué es lo que pasa? Tenemos que acumular luz para poder que la conciencia se abra, y a medida que su conciencia se abre, usted va a dejar de vivir en el tiempo lineal inferior del infierno. Y eso es verdad, yo lo puedo decir, porque yo antes vivía en más caos que ahora que tengo más conciencia. Inferno comes from inferior mind, lack of consciousness. And I can attest that it's actually truth. In order for a person to have consciousness, they need to have light. We are already light, but we need to harvest light. We need to be harvesters of light so our consciousness can open up. And I can honestly say that my life right now is better. I used to have so much chaos in my life, like it was not even funny. Yo tenía tanto caos en mi vida como ustedes no se pueden imaginar. Y yo puedo decir que ahora mi vida, no estoy diciendo que yo estoy viviendo en el cielo. I'm not saying that I'm living in heaven. No, that's not, I'm not saying that. Especialmente cuando usted tiene pareja, es bien difícil. Especially when you have a romantic partnership, it's really hard. I'm not saying I'm living in heaven. No estoy diciendo eso, pero yo sí puedo decir que ahora que yo estoy más consciente, es que es más, cuando uno está más consciente, uno busca el camino de la paz. When you actually, in the path of consciousness, by nature you look for peace. You look for peace. You want peace. Antes a mí no me importaba, yo me desgastaba peleando. Yo era buenísima para argumentar, para pelear, me encantaba tener la razón. I used to be so good in fighting, like you guys have no idea. Now, I really don't care if I win an argument or not. As a matter of fact, I prefer not to have them. I prefer because I know that's a waste of energy. Entonces, mire qué bonito lo que estamos aprendiendo. ¿Quién aquí ha hablado con culpa? Well, that's actually connected with the inferno idea. Who knows that they have, or they used to have a tone that it sounds guilty? I used to have that. How I used to speak with the people around me, like my son or the people close to me. I used to, like, as a matter of fact, I had a caregiver that told me, Tatiana, you're always looking for blame. Yeah, it's true. I'm trying to change that, and this class is a very awakening class. Imagínense qué hermoso que hasta el tono de voz afecta la frecuencia. Esto lo habíamos hablado en otras clases, pero ustedes saben que a medida que vamos creciendo juntos, lo vamos entendiendo más. Entonces, algunos ya se han sentido bueno, hay personas que hablan impulsivamente, no con discernimiento, y vamos a ver que esta chakra va desde la mitad del corazón y la mente. O sea que, mire qué bonito esto. El corazón antes dividía lo inferior de lo superior. Pero esta chakra es entre la mitad del corazón y la mente. Entonces, la garganta va a integrar el corazón y el pensamiento en una expresión que los conecte a los dos. No solamente todo lo que piden suficientemente, sino porque nos va a tocar tener filtro. Con el corazón se puede ser dulce y compartir los procesos y entender que de pronto el otro tiene sus propias dolencias, sus heridas y que no tiene que tomarlo personal, no hay que tomar lucha, sino que hay que poner límites y decir no me gusta, no estoy de acuerdo, estás equivocado, no me parece, cómo hacerlo muy compasivo, muy amoroso, con calidad y que hay que realmente lo que podamos expresar, sino que cada vez esa expresión sea más refinada, que realmente revele más conciencia y más sabiduría. Entonces, etimológicamente, la persona que tiene ese estado de la magia es la persona de la conciencia cualitativa y cuantitativamente mayor porque está de más que recibe más. Cuando una persona da de más, recibe más. Y cuando piensa mejor, actúa mejor. Obviamente vamos a poder compartir mucho las cosas que tienen que ver con con la expresión y la versión de lo que yo puedo hacer a mí mismo. Porque entonces nos podemos quedar en un reconocimiento. Pero también tenemos que entender que tenemos que tener una mayor expresión sin importar cómo yo lo pueda hacer. Y eso es la magia, el arte, la maestría de la calidad humana. Entonces, los magos pueden vivir cuando usted se convierte en un mago, usted puede hacer que su realidad se convierta en magia. Por eso, yo puedo hacer de mi vida algo mejor y hacer de la vida de los demás algo mejor y hacer de la expresión en la tierra algo mejor con mi presencia, con mi palabra, con mi amor, con mi inspiración. Pregúntese, ¿usted realmente es un maestro? Incluso en la maestría vamos a ver que las cosas más bonitas que tiene que ver es cuando uno da ejemplo e inspira, como vamos a hablar por decir Gandhi. Él dejó un legado que realmente es una ofrenda para llevar y dejar a una transformación. This is so beautiful. Porque en verdad lo que estamos haciendo aquí es un legado. Yo sé que el día que yo me muera, yo sé que mi hijo va a tener mis clases y yo sé que mi hijo va a poder escucharlas. Puede que nadie las escuche, pero yo sé que mi hijo las va a escuchar y yo le estoy dejando ese legado de transformación a mi hijo. Nuestra vida tiene que ser una ofrenda. Conviértase en ofrenda. Conviértase en una ofrenda que va a hacer que todas las bendiciones que usted haga las pueda. Mire, eso lo dijo Mary, que ella está sanando su árbol. So this is very beautiful and very transformative. So it is very beautiful to understand that this chakra is in the middle between the heart and the mind. So then the throat chakra comes to integrate the heart and the thoughts in an expression that connect both. So it's not sufficient that we have to filter what it comes to the heart, but we need to actually understand that there is a process of understanding others, of the own struggles, their own wounds, that I cannot take everything personal. But something that is very important is to put limits. We get into a lot of problems for not putting limits. And we have to say, I'm not agreeing with this, or I don't like this, or you know something, you made a mistake, or I actually made a mistake. We need to learn how to be compassionate, loving, and the quality is going to be really in the expression of it has to become into an expression that is a higher frequency expression. The more consciousness, the more wisdom that we're going to have. And that's the reason why the magic comes from a qualitative consciousness. And it becomes quantity because the more that I do, the more blessings I'm going to receive. So it's very important for me to share that the better expression and the better version of me is going to be fundamental in this path, and is not going to be related to what others do. It has to come from my own decision. Y eso es cierto. Les voy a decir algo. ¿Cuántos han caminado por ahí y ven que la calle está llena de basura? How many people have seen how much garbage people throw in the sidewalks? Yo lo he visto. ¿Y qué es lo que pasa? Conviértese usted en una persona que influencie a otras personas a hacer cosas buenas. Este mundo está tan contaminado que es más fácil uno seguir lo malo que seguir lo bueno, pero estamos aquí para influenciar en lo bueno. Yo, por decir, a mí me da asco recoger basura, pero miren, el otro día yo fui a caminar con Dustin y con Joshua. Él entró a la gasolinera, cogió una bolsa y empezó a recoger basura. Y ahora mi hijo, cada vez que vamos a caminar, quiere recoger basura. You know, the other day I was just walking by with Dustin and my son, and then he went to the gas station and he actually started picking garbage. Now my son wants to pick up garbage every time we go for a walk. So this is kind of the things that we need to start learning, not because we see others, even if nobody else does it. We need to have that consciousness. Once you get consciousness of something, we need to allow for that consciousness to transform us. Entonces, permitamos que la expresión y la versión que yo pueda hacer de mí mismo sea fundamental. Entonces, no importa lo que los otros puedan hacer, es un reconocimiento de cuál es mi mejor expresión que yo pueda dar sin importar lo que los demás puedan hacer. Por eso la magia es un arte de la maestría, de la máxima calidad humana, que usted puede desarrollar y hacer que su vida se convierta en un arte. Por eso es que los magos de la realidad lo pueden hacer de su vida algo mejor y hacer de la vida de los demás que también se mejore, solamente expresando una mejor expresión en la tierra, con nuestra presencia, con nuestra palabra, con nuestro amor, con nuestro ejemplo, con nuestra inspiración. Pregúntese, ¿qué es un maestro? Realmente incluso la maestría la vamos a ver de las cosas más bonitas que tienen cuando uno gana la maestría, es dar ejemplo, es inspirar, es una obra de arte. Es la ofrenda que voy a dejar, la transformación que he hecho de mí mismo, de mí misma, que yo he sanado, que yo me he transformado frente al mundo y que tal vez permita que otros vean que tienen su propia magia y que yo puedo siempre sanar, que yo me puedo transformar, que puedo transformar mi pobreza en abundancia, que yo puedo pasar de la tristeza y las ganas de morirme, de suicidarme, del desamor, de la absoluta inmadurez, de yo estar arrastrada pidiendo amor y todos y luego amarme, no solamente puedo hacerlo, y es que lo más bonito de la maestría es que yo pueda inspirar con coherencia y que el ejemplo a otros que seamos capaces. El desarrollo de la conciencia es el reconocimiento de un poder infinito que puede lograr que tenemos todos como maestros a nuestro alcance y que empecemos a vivir cada vivencia, cada encuentro, cada experiencia, cada instante. Y por eso lo primero que nosotros necesitamos es reconocer qué es lo que podemos asumir de nuestro poder creador y qué es lo que yo puedo asumir y qué es lo que yo puedo hacer hasta ahora, porque lo que el ego le pasa es que va a decir, ¿cómo yo puedo lograr esta conciencia si yo tengo un montón de caprichos? Entonces, el ego lo que le sucede es que tiene sueños y tiene deseos y tiene ideales y cree que lograr todo esto es parte. Y si le pasa es que va a poder crear en la conciencia. Entonces hay una madurez interior. ¿Qué quiere decir esto? El ego piensa que crear es, bueno, yo voy a manifestar una casa, voy a manifestar un carro. Esos son ideales, ilusiones que tiene el ego. Pero ser un maestro tiene que ver con cosas más profundas. So, we need to understand that our life has to be a legacy. That is gonna become a work of art. It's an offering that we can live in transformation of myself, that I'm going to be able to heal, that is going to initiate what I'm going to confront in the world and is going to allow me to see the magic of how I did it, that I can heal, that I can transform, that I can actually change poverty and abundance, that if I can actually pass from being sad and not wanting to be here and being a beggar of love to be able to love myself and transform everything. That's what mastering is. When I can actually inspirate in coherence. And this is going to give us the magic to develop a consciousness in a recognition of an infinite power that is going to allow us to transform everything that we have lived, every experience, every instance, and is going to allow us to recognize our own power, our creative power that I have to assume first. And that's the reason why that we're going to be able to create in consciousness, but creating in consciousness is not the same as what ego believes. Ego believes that we have dreams, that we have desires, that we have ideas, and that I have to do everything that my heart desires in order for me to be able to become a creator. But that's actually a low, immature consciousness. ¿Qué quiere decir esto? Que si yo puedo descubrir adentro que todo lo que yo sueño ya está en mí y que nada es lo que yo tengo que buscar afuera y reconocerlo, todo empieza con un reconocimiento, porque el maestro sabe y reconoce su potencial, sabe cuál es su don, sabe cuál es su luz y ve con humildad, pero también sabe cuáles son sus miedos, sus limitaciones, sus inseguridades, sus inconsciencias, sus incongruencias, sus incoherencias, sus limitaciones, su inmadurez. Y es porque si no lo sabe, no va a creer en conciencia. Pero ¿qué significa todo esto? Que si yo realmente me puedo ver en humildad y en totalidad, y yo puedo ver mi luz y mi sombra, yo puedo ponerme en un orden interior, y que es luego lo que me va a llevar a una madurez para poder ser correspondiente, con alcanzar esto con la claridad y los sueños y todo lo que yo quiera. Y aunque no se crea, aunque yo esté buscando afuera, aunque yo no tenga dinero porque trabaje más, piense cuál es el negocio perfecto, cuál es el trabajo interior, puedo ir a reconocer mi poder, tengo que ir a hacer un trabajo con mi plexo solar, con mi padre, con la autoridad, con mi propia abundancia, para poder ver hasta ahora cómo he manejado el dinero y el tiempo, cómo soy un padre interno conmigo mismo, entonces, ¿qué es lo que va a pasar? Puede ser que yo busque 500 negocios y que yo cambie de profesión muchas veces y que yo haga muchas renuncias y que haga muchos tratos y que consigue a ver hasta dónde yo puedo llegar. Pero lo que tenemos que entender es que la creación consciente comienza por tomar conciencia de cuál es la conciencia que yo tengo ahora y que tengo que tomar del presente, qué es lo que yo tengo que aprender con lo que yo tengo ahora. Y ese es el problema de por qué las cosas no se manifiestan. Porque nosotros pensamos que merecemos algo cuando no podemos aprovechar lo que tenemos al frente de nosotros mismos. So, what it means is that I have to discover inside what is it that I dream, because it's inside of me. Actually, I put a post yesterday. Everything that you want to manifest is already there. It's just that it have to find you in the past, because we're actually in the past. So when we align with that energy, what we want to manifest is gonna come to us. So everything starts by a recognition of what mastery is. I have to recognize that I have a potential, that I have a gift, but I have to see me with humility. I have to see my fears, my limitations, my insecurities, my unconsciousness, my incoherence, my immaturity, so I can actually create in consciousness. And what is that means? That once I have the humility, I can see everything in totality. I can see my light, I can see my shadow, and I can actually start putting everything in order, so I can have the maturity to connect with the correspondence of what is the clarity of what is my dreams. And that's where I'm going to connect to, hey, I have no money. Do I have to work more? Am I going to find the perfect business? But this is all an interior work. So I have to recognize my power. I have to go back and do the work with my internal father, with my solar plexus, with my own abundance, how I actually manage the money, the time. I have to see if I'm a very good father with myself. And then if I continue to look for 500 businesses or 20 professions, and then I quit 1,000 times and I find different kind of jobs, everything is going to take me to that I only create what I need to create in order for me to develop the consciousness that I need today. And that's the most important thing for us to understand. To get to that maturity, to understand that you can only create what is correspondence of what you need and learn right now. And that's why we repeat so much, because we don't have the humbleness to understand that once we appreciate what is happening right now and learn what is happening right now, then we can move to a new creation. No sé si tienen alguna pregunta. I don't know if you guys have any questions, if you have any comments de lo que hemos aprendido. You guys have any questions? ¿Quieren decir algo, algún comentario?
No, thank you, Tati.
When I first woke up, I actually I had a vision board of a lot of things that I wanted. I wanted my perfect credit score. I wanted to have a car. I wanted to have a house. Bunch of stuff. But with time, I have come to the realization that exactly what is in front of me is what I need. And the rest is gonna come exactly when it needs to come. Lo más importante que debemos aprender es que ser manifestadores o magos no tiene que ver con el poder de crear abundancia económica. Tiene que ver con tener una abundancia interna, donde nosotros podamos manifestar el amor sin tener transacciones ocultas. The most important thing is for us to become masters of love and compassion, because this world needs it desperately for us to wake up to that love and compassion, so we can actually help Terra or Gaia to evolve. Resumiendo así más o menos lo que hemos estudiado hoy, la chakra garganta está entre el medio del corazón y la mente, porque lo más difícil de integrar es la mente al corazón. Just recapping what we studied today, one of the hardest things there is to connect our mind with our heart. There's usually a big disconnection between those two, and that's what the throat chakra is. So imagine this, by us aligning our mind with thoughts of love and doing the highest expression of love by the way how we speak, qualitative words, we can connect those two, the mind and the heart. Qué bonito esto, que sintonizando la mente con buenos pensamientos y hablando palabras de calidad, podemos conectar tanto la mente como el corazón. Y cuando usted se convierte en un mago, todo lo que usted siembra le viene por añadidura. When you become a magician, everything that you sow, you're gonna reap in abundance. So, pensemos en esto esta semana. Let's think about this week. Let's go ahead and impact at least 3 people this week. And if you guys want to talk about it in the chat, I would love to hear it. I'm a little grouchy sometimes because I have a lot of responsibilities. So my goal this week is gonna be talking a lot of words of love. Si ustedes quieren, lo puedes compartir en el chat. Si han podido impactar 3 personas, tan siquiera con una palabra de te amo, o te entiendo, o siento por lo que estás pasando. Little words like I understand what's happening, I love you, I send you good energy. Whatever words you guys want to share, we can actually put it on the chat. Espero que hayan pasado un tiempo bonito. I hope you guys had a good time. I had a great time today. I love when I connect with you guys because I feel like I learn as much as you guys learn. I love it. I'm looking forward for these meetings. So espero que ustedes también sientan igual. No sé si quieren decir algo antes de despedirnos. I don't know if you guys want to say something before we say goodbye.
No, thank you, Tati. It was a nice class. Yeah, and I'll practice that too. Like you said, sometimes we are grouchy and we do need to show more love and just to the people around us sometimes too, because we all have a lot of things going on in our personal lives. But that was a good tip. I'm definitely going to try to practice that this week too.
You know that there is la palabra influencer is very big in these times. La palabra influenciador es bien grande ahora en los últimos tiempos. En Colombia hay un influencer. A mí no me gustan todos los influencers. Para mí un influencer tiene que ser una persona que en verdad me mueva. Y este influencer me mueve mucho porque habla tan bonito. Yo les voy a poner un video en TikTok de él. Él se llama Camilo Cifuentes. I don't like every single body that influences in TikTok. Because I believe that if you're going to influence, like for example, us, we're old. But imagine the kids being influenced by people that is so shallow, that is just showing like emptiness, like there is no substance anymore. There is this guy called Camilo Fuentes. He's from Colombia. Listen, just the way how he speaks, man. The way how he speaks. Like, he's like, oh, buen día, mi niño, ¿cómo está? Le voy a mandar un video and you guys tell me how you think he speaks.
Okay.
Like, ¿cómo está mi niño? Los quiero mucho. You know what he does? He actually, there is a lot of street people that sells food in the streets of Colombia. A lot of them. Like every single corner, there is 3-5 people that sells cookies, like anything. So what he does is he doesn't even show his face. So what he does, he buys the things for the person, and then he give it to the homeless. And then all the money that he collects in TikTok is just for that. And nobody has seen his face. Nobody has seen his face. But if you see him, you should see how lovely he speaks. He's like, he talks to, like, just the frequency of his voice is with so much love. He treats them with so much dignity. He's like, oh, I want to help you. Like, and then he makes the day for those people, even if it's just one sale once in a lifetime.
Yeah.
So I think that's beautiful. And I want one day to be able to influence others to the goodness. Yo quiero que escuchen ese video y que ustedes me cuenten cómo sienten ese video. Solamente de escucharlo a él habla tan bonito, él habla con tanto amor. Y lo que hace él es que le compra comida a la gente que vende en la calle y después la comida que compra se la reparte a los indigentes. Entonces, that is a great example. If you guys have more, just share it in the chat. No sé si quieren decir algo más. I don't know if you guys want to share anything else. Bueno, les deseo entonces una buena, feliz noche. I hope you guys have a very great night. And I hope to hear you in the chat. Les mando muchos besos, abrazos, luz. I send a lot of hugs, love, and kisses. And I see you next week.
Okay, thank you, Tati. Good night, everyone.